everybody. Dave Brown and Corey Macklin here at ringside, ready to go with another day of USWA Championship Wrestling. Got a big show coming up today and got words about a special tournament, which we'll be telling you about in just a few minutes.
Oh, indeed. Got a big one today. You'll see Principal C.W. Bergstrom and Mike Samples. They're going to be here today. Brian Christopher is on the card today as well. Also a newcomer in the USWA, Mark Freer. We'll get our first look at Mark Freer. And coming up here soon, you got Rex King and Steve Dahl against PG-13.
Yeah, that ought to be a very interesting match, as Simply Divine will be in here against PG-13. We're going to get things underway. You stay with us. We got a big one today. We'll be back in just a moment. You know, I mentioned the big tournament coming up with Memorial Day weekend and all of that. It's actually a 15-match tournament. Now, it says 16 here. There is an additional match that is not technically a tournament match. 16 matches coming up this week. Now, the reason for the tournament is this. Papa Shango, who you see right here pictured, of course, is now the holder of the unified belt, the USWA unified belt. And Bert Prentice says Jerry Lawler does not get an automatic return match.
Yeah,
so as a result,
doesn't want to give him that.
There has to be a tournament, and the winner of the tournament will get the shot at Papa Shango. And look at this one right here. All right, you got Jerry Lawler against C.W. Bergstrom. Lawler has to beat Bergstrom and then progress throughout the entire 15 matches, 4 rounds altogether of the tournament in order to get the return shot at Papa Shango. Then you got Jeff Gaylord going to be going against Scott Braddock. Danny Davis against Johnny Polo. The Terror will be going against J.C. Ice. Rex King against Dutch Mantell. Wolfie D against Steve Dahl. Moondog Spot will be going against Brian Christopher, the legend, by his own admission. Tony Falk will be going against Mark Freer.
Yeah,
and as we mentioned, Corey, Mark Freer, we hope to meet a little bit later on. Don't know too much about him, but has the makings of a very interesting evening there with the pairings. And of course, when you have tournaments like this, and you have your bracketing and all of that, you can really end up with some strange opponents as the tournament progresses there later on, people that you never thought you would see wrestling each other in a match. We'll find out about it this week. Well, coming in right now, Bert Prentice.
The strangest thing, shut up, about this tournament is Jerry Lawler shouldn't even be in it. This is the man Papa Shango beat probably in less than, 30 seconds to win the belt. And Lawler's telling the whole world, he's crying to the whole world, I want a rematch. No, it's not going to be that easy. The only way, I told Eddie Mullen, is go through the list, one by one. If Jerry Lawler can step over everybody in the USWA, sure, he can have a title match because then he earned it. But Jerry Lawler, do you understand, in the first round, you're against the principal. You're not even going to get out of the first round. And if you happen to get a little bit lucky, you got to go through not only one, but both of Simply Divine. And I'm sorry, Jerry the Queen Lawler, you just cannot do it. Tell him the truth.
It's like this right here, Jerry Lawler. We've got all the titles. We've got all the world belts in our little family right here. So if you think you're going to waltz into Memphis Monday night and beat either one of us, you got another thing coming. There's no way in this world. Shut up! There's no way in the world we're letting you get to Papa Shango, baby. Tell him, Rexy.
Well, it doesn't matter where you are, what city, who's there, who the opponents are. Jerry Lawler is not going to be backing up from you.
Lawler, it doesn't matter if you back up from us or not. It's our job to make sure that you don't get your hands on Papa Shango, because it doesn't matter. You're not putting that belt back around your waist ever again. Kiss it goodbye.
What people in the USWA got to realize, that Jerry the Queen Lawler is yesterday's news. And speaking of yesterday's news, going to be a tag team match. We're going to wrestle yesterday's news right now.
I'm not sure they're yesterday's news. PG-13 is going to be coming his way to go against the USWA Tag Team Champions, Steve Dahl and Rex King. Simply Divine, they call themselves, across the way. Oh. They're jumped, PG-13 jumped by King and Dahl.
Yeah, Steve Dahl and Rex King and Bert Prentice all hightailing in there, jumping on PG-13. And look at JC and Whoopi. They both got Simply Divine and flips them both over. Dahl's out of the ring, and there goes Rex King not far behind. PG-13.
And I'm amazed by Bert Prentice. Bert Prentice immediately starts yelling, "That's illegal, that's illegal."
Yeah.
Like both of his guys jumping Wolfie D and JC Ice isn't illegal, just as the match even gets underway.
Boy, everything's illegal for Bert Prentice, boy. Let me tell you.
A man who believes in selective enforcement of the rules, no doubt about it. Bert Prentice.
Gee. Steve Dahl and Wolfie D in the ring. And, oh, Dahl nailing away on Wolfie. Whoops D into the ropes. Wolfie D goes under. Drop kick to take Steve Dahl down. And PG-13, boy, they're coming in here. They're not short-stepping by any means today. Standing up to the USWA World Tag Team Champions, Simply Divine.
This is a non-title match. PG-13, I'm sure, working toward getting a tag title match against these guys somewhere in the not-too-distant future.
Hands behind Wolfie D and Steve Dahl, boy, nailing away on him. Into the turnbuckle. Wolfie comes out and a nice arm drag. Takes him down. Good move from Wolfie D to take Steve Dahl down. Good clean move in there. Tag on his partner, JC Ice. PG-13 wrestles from the hood. And, oh, that Dahl. Hey. A good arm drag there from JC Ice. Takes Rex King down. And King whips him in. JC comes off. Boy, look at that. JC kind of held on in there. They flipped over and was able to land.
That was terrific balance by JC Ice because
Yes,
Rex King had him spinning around about a 360. JC Ice kept the momentum going and did not allow King to set up on a hold.
Was a good move by JC. Hey, look at this. Comes off flying crutch on Rex King. 1, 2. And King kicks out of it at 2. I think Rex King, man, thought he was had that time because, oh, gee.
Word from Bert Prentice. Yeah.
My sentiments exactly, Prentice. For you. Rex King and Steve Dahl make the tag, and Simply Divine, the USWA World Tag Champions, tagging in and out. Dahl clawing away on JC Ice. JC comes off the middle rope, and he misses that time.
Yeah, that was a great idea, but Steve Dahl just ducked. And JC Ice hit the mat.
Tag on Rex King, and King comes in. Setting JC Ice up now as Rex King bounces him on that top rope. Boy. And JC Ice goes down onto the floor. Bert Prentice over put this 2 cents in it while TD Stales trying to keep King and Wolfie D in order in the ring. Yeah. They had Bert Prentice, boy, still kicking away on JC Ice.
Steve Dahl over here with a comment, not impressed apparently with PG-13. I tell you, that maybe a little scared all of a sudden. PG-13 has looked so good during this match against them.
Yeah, the fans behind them, too. They got the support of the fans. They're all behind JC and Wolfie D. JC Ice slammed into the boot of Steve Dahl, and King and Dahl continue to tag in and out. JC Ice trying to get over to get a tag on his partner, but can't make it.
Boy, that's what he really needs to do. They have really worked him over, starting with slamming him on that top rope.
Hey, look at this. 2! And JC kicks out at 2. Steve Dahl picks up JC Ice, and boy, slams him right down on his knee there. Working on the midsection of JC. Rex King comes in, and King and Dahl whips Ice in. Comes off the ropes. Oh, and slams him face first into the mat. Referee T.D. Steele warning King and Dahl about being in there at the same time. And Rex King drops down with a couple of headbutts in the midsection of J.C. Ice. King picks up J.C. Ice. Big slam on him. Tags Steve Dahl. And it's Dahl up on the metal ropes now. J.C. in the ring. Oh! J.C. Ice puts the boot and catches Steve Dahl as he comes off the rope.
JC's at the wrong corner. He's trying to get the tag. He now makes it over to the corner, and here comes Wolfie D.
Yeah, here comes Sir Wolfie D. And Wolfie D slamming away on both of Simply Divine, King and Dahl. He's got both of them in the ring. J.C. Ice in the ring now. That's Wolfie D on Steve Dahl. Bert Prentice climbs on the apron. Dahl rolls up. Wolfie 1, 2, 3, and they get in with Bert Prentice interfering in the bout.
No doubt about it, interference by Bert Prentice is what wrapped that one up for Simply Divine. There's plenty more action to go here today, but first we got action coming up around the territory. Corey, you want to tell them about some of that?
Oh, yeah, we do. Thursday night, June 3rd, Crenshaw, Mississippi at the Crenshaw Gym. Tickets are on sale at City Hall, F&S Grocery, Gurley's One Stop. Save $1 on advance tickets coming up Thursday night, June 3rd. Crenshaw, Mississippi at the Crenshaw Gym, 8 o'clock bell time. You see the lineup for Crenshaw, the Birdman, Coco Beware, Jeff Jarrett, Brian Christopher, Miss Texas will be on that card. Call Oscar Barlow for more details. A lot of great happenings in Crenshaw, Mississippi, coming up Thursday night, June 3rd. Friday night, June 4th, big night Friday night. Corinth, Mississippi, USWA Championship Wrestling returns to Corinth, and a big night of action at the high school. The King, Jerry Lawler, be there. Simply Divine, Rex King and Steve Dahl, the Birdman, Coco Beware. It's a big lineup for Corinth, Mississippi, coming up Friday night, June 3rd at the June 4th rather at the high school in Corinth. Lonnie Sporting Goods, you can get tickets on sale there, and it's sponsored by the Warriors Booster Club for Corinth, Mississippi, Friday, June 4th. Same night, Friday, June 4th, in Kennett, Missouri, at the American Legion building in Kennett. It's a Schools Out special coming up in Kennett Friday night. All students, tickets are only $2 for Kennett, Missouri. Coming up Friday night, June 4th, big night in Kennett. Jeff Jarrett, Master of Terror, PG-13, Brian Christopher, ladies match, all in Kennett, Missouri, at the American Legion building in Kennett. And again, it's a Schools Out special in Kennett. All student tickets, only $2. Friday night, June 25th, Ripley, Mississippi, at the Ripley High School USWA Championship Wrestling, July 2nd. Friday night in Batesville, Mississippi, South Panola High School. And coming soon to West Point, Mississippi, Cleveland, Mississippi, and Blytheville, Arkansas. That's USWA Championship Wrestling on tour.
And joining us right now, the King is right here.
Hi, everybody. Good little group out here, huh? Everybody ready for a little Memorial Day, a little bit of holiday stuff, kind of thing. I just want to talk about a couple of more things that are going to be going on around the USWA. Looking forward to being in Corinth, Mississippi. Hadn't been down there in a long time, and there are a lot of great wrestling fans down in Corinth, and we're looking forward to seeing them down there. Also, I've been mentioning for the last couple of weeks we had to reschedule one of our big ball games coming up next Sunday, not tomorrow, but next Sunday, June the 6th, up in Humboldt, Tennessee. It's going to be at Spangler Field. We had been announcing that it's going to be a 2 o'clock start. It's going to be starting at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and want to invite everybody to come out. We're going to be trying to help raise money for Le Bonheur Children's Hospital, and all the fine people up at Walmart up there in Humboldt are helping to put this game together, and we want to invite everybody out there. Going to be in Humboldt next Sunday. Going to be coming up in Grand Junction, Tennessee. I always love to get up there and put a stomping on the stompers in Grand Junction. We got a lot of dates coming up real soon, and we're going to be back to tell you more about that. Also, want to mention June the 4th, don't forget Life with Mikey. If you've ever gone to see a movie, go see Life with Mikey. Stars Michael J. Fox and co-stars Jerry Lawler and Jeff Jarrett in there too. So be sure and check that out. I'll tell you another thing we're going to be doing. They're going to be putting together. We're going to give some people a chance to actually go see the movie. We're going to go. You get to go to dinner and go see the movie. And take about 10 of your friends along with myself and Jeff Jarrett. So we're going to be giving somebody a chance to win that here in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, I want to talk to you about the tournament in a little while, but we'll do that in a few minutes. Let's take a break right now, and we'll get you back out here. Was that all right? We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. Last week, we introduced everyone to Jennifer and a new USWA feature, Jennifer on the Road. She's been on the road, and first feature this week, none other than the King, Jerry Lawler.
Hi, this is Jennifer. I am at the palatial home of the King himself, Jerry Lawler. Now, I got here a little bit early, so Jerry just told me to make myself at home, and I found out that he not only does art, but he also collects Coca-Cola memorabilia. So I just wanted to show you some of this. It is so neat. And one thing that I really like is this old-timey Coke machine. I thought this was so interesting.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi. Welcome. You like my Coke memorabilia?
Yes, I do. It is so neat. I love this Coke machine.
Do you? Hang on a second, wait a minute. Why don't you take one home with you?
Oh, thank you, Jerry.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to keep this. Well, did you bring your stuff?
Yes, I did. And I'm ready to do art.
What, you brought a palette and brushes. No, that's okay. I'll tell you what. I've got some material over here that we'll do. And you want to look at some art too?
Yes, and I also thought we could do a little art,
We'll
maybe.
do some. While we're here, let me start with. I don't know if the camera can get this. See this little. This guy is called the Sprite Boy, and that's one of the reasons I like the Coca-Cola stuff is because I was interested in. They had some great art connected with their advertising, and I painted that.
Oh, that is so neat. I'm really impressed.
So neat.
Really impressed.
Well, come on over here and I'll show you some other
Okay.
stuff. Okay. All right. Before we get started doing any drawing, can I show some of my art that I've already done?
Yeah, sure. Go
This is some of my favorite subjects, of course.
Oh, okay.
I draw pictures of myself. You've heard of self-portraits and things like that.
Oh, yeah, I think it's great.
This was one. This is when I had that little funny-looking little beard kind of thing there, you know.
Yeah, I
See,
remember.
coming out of the Coliseum. That kind of cute.
That's really cute.
And of course, here's another one of me. This was.
Oh, that's great.
This was used for. I drew this, and this was used for I think a Fireworks City billboard. And my second favorite subject, the Cleveland Browns. This was one of my friends that was played on the Cleveland Browns, Dick Ambrose. I did a little picture of him.
That's great.
Oh, one of my all-time heroes. You know who that is?
Yes, I do.
Who?
Curly.
Yeah, you're not as young as you look, I think. That's right, Curly. This was a picture I did for a friend of mine that owned Bunton Restaurant, Milton Wiggins, and this was like, they use this on their menu over there.
Oh, that's
It's there all the time. Like. And then this was a little thing, I did this for the Shrine Clowns. This was, they put on the front of their circus program. Is that great?
Great, yeah.
Come on, you're not really impressed with
No,
this.
I am. I'm very impressed.
Okay.
I am.
Hey, what about this? You know this guy?
Handsome Jimmy.
Yeah, drew that. Almost
That
looks
is
like a
good.
photograph, doesn't it?
It does.
I drew it. And then this was like a T-shirt designed for my graduating class from. I said, look, that's not that long ago now.
1967.
That's when I graduated from Treadwell High School, and we had a big reunion. And
That is so good.
almost
I'm
everybody
really
had died,
impressed.
but I was still.
You're still there.
I was still there. I also do. This is some calligraphy. You know, little
Yeah, that's
fancy
really
writing.
nice. Well, I'm so impressed.
I don't think you really are.
I am, Jerry. That is great.
Also, look, this is a shot here that I just finished drawing this to advertise my big softball tournament that's going to be coming up. I want to tell you a little bit more about that a little bit later on, too, okay?
Well, that is great. So, are we going to do art
Oh,
now?
man, that's all you want to do is do art.
I
Can
know.
you do
I
art?
thought we could just do a picture together, maybe.
Collaborate.
Yes.
Okay. I'll tell you what we'll do here. I'm
Okay.
going to give you this pen. What I want you to do is you start the picture. We'll do a little abstract art.
Okay, that sounds good.
It does. You start the picture and I'll finish it. Just make
Anything?
Just make any kind of line on there. What? Just anything.
Well, I don't know what to do. Just draw anything.
It doesn't matter. Just a line.
Okay. How's that?
Wow.
More?
That's enough, I guess. Making it tough on me here. Oh, let me see what I can do with that. What can I do here? Oh, let me just come over here. Let me see. And we'll come right here.
Oh, how neat.
What is it? You don't even know yet, do you?
It's a cat.
It's who?
Sylvester the cat.
Hey, Sylvester. Wait a minute. Let me see. Where's he at? Look. Hey, it's Sylvester
how
the cat.
cute.
Where's he at? Give me some whiskers there. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Look, we collaborated.
Jerry, that is so good.
Now we got to sign this. You got to sign
okay.
it. Sign it right there at the
Okay.
bottom. We might could sell this.
No, we could. I think we
Oh,
could.
you think we could? Jennifer. Now, should I sign it too?
Yeah, you sign it too.
Okay.
That is so good. I'm so impressed.
Sell that, we'll make a lot of money.
Okay, we could. Well, Jerry, do you sell? I mean, I bet you have money to burn.
You know
all
what?
the
It's so
stuff. Look, I
funny
mean,
that you mentioned
everything.
everybody thinks I got money to burn. Whoa! Wait a minute. What?
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
Jennifer on the road with a close-up look at the King, Jerry Lawler. More of those features coming up. Hey, we're talking about this big tournament special. Tournament prices for kids 12 and under, $1 admission. Just a dollar. Great for the family. Kids under 12 get in for $1 to these special matches. It's Principal C.W. Bergstrom here.
Wait a minute here. I suppose it was your idea for the dollar tickets for the kids.
No, it wasn't mine. I think it's a good idea, but it was Eddie Marlin's idea for a $1 ticket admission for kids under 12.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think it's a good idea. And for one reason only. The brats in this country have been getting away with too much. They've been getting handouts, and I think all you're doing is training them to be welfare recipients.
Mike.
Dave, obviously, Principal Bergstrom knows firsthand how to deal with young punks, and you should listen to him, you understand? But what I want to talk about is this tournament coming up. Jerry Lawler, I don't know whose idea it was to pair you up with Principal Bergstrom in the first round, but whoever it was must really have it out for you. They must hate you because this man, C.W. Bergstrom, Principal Bergstrom to you, although he's never met you personally, Jerry Lawler, he hates you because he knows you by record. You see, the way you act and the way you behave as a small child and the way you grow up determines exactly how you act and behave as an adult. So what we did is we went right down there to Treadwell High School, and we dug way back in the archives, and to tell you the truth, they were so far back there was dust about that deep. But we found your transcript, and I want C.W. Bergstrom to tell all the people of the USWA just what kind of man you are and what kind of punk kid you were.
That's right, Mr. Lawler. I tell you, you weren't a self-made man. Someone had to make you because we went way back. And, you know, you say you're an artist. Well, I tell you what, that was one of the classes that you got one of the big F's in. So I guess maybe all that artistic work must have been by numbers or, well, I guess it couldn't have been by numbers. You would have had to help with that, too. But I'll tell you what, it must have been Xeroxed, copied, traced over, something. I'll tell you, because you got the big F in art. And also, the King, as you call him, his other class that he failed in was physical education. And I'll tell you what, I think it's pretty obvious when that punk was in school, he probably had people carrying him around and making him look good.
In other words, Dave, he was a cheater then, he's a cheater now, and Principal Bergstrom is going to teach him how you should not cheat and why you should behave in school.
Well, I'd say I think your research may be just a little bit flawed. You say he failed art. We saw some examples of that earlier. He failed PE. We've seen him in the ring. So we'll just have to...
That's right, Lawler. I want you to watch up and watch me give this young man the lesson he deserves, because right now he's in the principal's office.
Well, Principal C.W. Bergstrom with Mike Samples as manager headed for the ring right now. That's... that research, I mean, come on, fans.
That's
you know.
horrible. It is horrible. Boy, this Mike Samples, just about every time he opens his mouth, you know it's not the truth.
Well,
but I
that's true.
think he's just about to teach C.W. Bergstrom some of his old ropes himself. Principal C.W. Bergstrom climbs up on the apron, pulls up, and Billy Hickerson is his opponent today. Oh, boy.
T.D. Steele, the referee, over for the inspection, and we are just about set to go here with a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match. What is this? Principal Bergstrom balking at the inspection. Here we go. Billy Hickerson, the opponent for the Principal C.W. Bergstrom.
And Principal Bergstrom says that he has an appointment in his office with Billy Hickerson and got that paddle and all of that stuff out here, that leather strap. Principal Bergstrom whips Hickerson in, and a big shoulder takes him down. Well, this Bergstrom is a big guy. He can wrestle now. He can wrestle. Let me tell you, he's tough. You hate to see him with the likes of Mike Samples and all of this phony talking they're doing and all of these actions they come up with. And Principal C.W. Bergstrom right now taking care of Billy Hickerson, though. Takes Hickerson into the ropes. Kicks him out. Howard slams him down, covers him. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Got him. Billy Hickerson goes to out. No, none of that stuff now, Mike. He won the bout good enough, but we don't need any of that stuff out here.
I tell you what, the match didn't last long. Principal C.W. Bergstrom defeating Billy Hickerson. And now what?
We don't need
Samples,
that.
come on
now.
now.
Samples.
A little extracurricular activity.
Oh, that is just ridiculous is what it
You're
is.
exactly right.
That
There
is
is
ridiculous.
absolutely no excuse for this
Oh, come
whatsoever from Bergstrom and Samples beating up on this young kid after they have defeated him in the match.
Bergstrom grabs the bottle now. Oh, come on, Mike. Get him out of there with that jump. Oh, here comes Jeff Gaylord, the Missouri Tiger. Yeah, he nails Bergstrom, and Bergstrom gets out of there. Onto the floor goes C.W. Bergstrom. Mike Samples jumps in the ring. Oh, look at Gaylord. He's got that bottle battling Mike Samples.
Bergstrom sent Samples in there to collect the lumber, but he didn't intend on him collecting it like this. From behind, Bergstrom nails Jeff Gaylord. Oh, look out. Now that's 2 against 1. Boy, I tell you, look out.
Oh, come on, man. Samples holding Gaylord while C.W. Bergstrom unloads with him on that paddle, boy.
Here
Here
comes some
comes the
help.
king, Jerry Lawler, and there goes Bergstrom and Samples. Well, all of that stuff, boy, that leather strapping pedal and all.
I tell you what, for a couple of guys out here claiming that Lawler failed PE in high school, they sure left in a hurry when he showed up with that athletic ability he has, didn't they? There they go. They are out of here. We are going to take this quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment. But first, here's a word about this big tournament coming up.
Monday night at the Coliseum, it's the Memorial Day Special. Kids 12 and under, admission is only $1. A 15-match tournament to see who gets a shot at the unified world champion, Papa Shango. 16 men battling for a chance to be the world champion, plus a grudge match. Jeff Jarrett and Miss Texas try to get revenge against Brian Christopher and Miss Simpson. The Memorial Day Spectacular. Kids 12 and under in for $1 Monday night at the Coliseum.
Hey, the King is joining us here again. And King, I want to talk just a little bit about this situation which is coming up this week. I know you're probably not too thrilled about it. You would rather just sort of go in and have a rematch.
Well, I think I deserve the rematch. You know, Papa Shango did win the title, but then in the return match, I felt like I had the guy beat. And I know the guy is beatable. You know, it's just that he used the disqualification stipulation to save the title for himself. And ordinarily, the review board or whoever would take a look at that and say that I should get the title match or rematch. But I think that when Papa Shango hired Bert Prentice to be his new manager and take care of all of his business dealings, well, that's when things went south. Bert Prentice doesn't want, the last thing in the world that he wants is for me to get a title shot. That's why he has come up with this entire smoke screen. That's why he has come up with this entire tournament idea, because he knows that for somebody to get a shot at the title, they're going to have to win 4 straight matches, which is no easy task when you're looking at the talent we got here in the USWA. But I'm going to tell you something, Bert Prentice. Everywhere I go, every time I step foot out my door, the first question that people ask me is, King, when are you going to get that belt back? Because I think that people equate the Unified World Heavyweight Championship belt with the King of Wrestling. And I do too. I look at that as my belt, and I want it back around my waist and right here in the USWA. So we're going to have this tournament, and I couldn't be more pleased than to have the first round, the first pairing against C.W. Bergstrom, the principal. He calls himself a principal. Well, first of all, let me tell you something. We all watched him out here doing his little speech about my school background. Now, the first thing that anybody knows about a principal is, what was the main thing that you couldn't do in school? Number one thing, you don't chew gum in class. You chew gum around a principal, and brother, you know what's going to happen. And C.W. Bergstrom's out here. He's chewing gum so fast his lips need shock absorbers. So we know right off the bat that his being a principal is a little on the shady side. Now, another thing, he says he researched my background. Well, that's right. I'm proud of my background. I went to Treadwell High School, and at Treadwell High School, we had a great principal. His name was W.L. Mabry. And he was a guy that the kids, they weren't afraid of him. They weren't afraid to have to go to the principal's office. He was somebody that we looked up to and admired because he took care of the kids, and he had their best interests at heart, unlike a jerk like you. And I was fortunate in my school career to have teachers that cared about the students. My art teacher was Helen Stahl at Treadwell High School. She helped me put together a portfolio of artwork that enabled me to win a commercial arts scholarship to Memphis State University. I didn't have to trace any artwork. I didn't have to Xerox anything, and I didn't paint anything by numbers, C.W. Bergstrom. And for a jerk like you to come out here and try to insinuate that I did, it makes me a little bit hot. So you get ready and you pack your Board of Education, because when I get you in that tournament, I'm going to give you a little schooling. I'm going to give you a little lesson. I'm going to teach you what it's like to be in the ring with the king of wrestling. And I think, C.W. Bergstrom, it's going to be a lesson that you're going to regret. So get ready, because it is on our agenda, brother.
The word from the king. Looks like maybe Mike Samples and C.W. Bergstrom, by claiming about that transcript and everything. Yeah. Maybe they kind of got the king a little upset with him, and they shouldn't have done that, huh? Yeah. We'll find out. I tell you what, speaking of being upset, there was some folks upset because of what happened just a week ago right here. Take a look at this recap.
Okay, Brian, okay. Open your eyes. Here's your new nanny.
Oh.
Yeah, I told you, man. It's great, isn't it? Look at it. Look at her.
Well, that's nothing like what I expected.
You know, she'll take care of you. She'll tuck you in at night. You know, she'll sing you a little story. She'll sing you a little lullaby. She'll tell you stories. She'll dust. She'll clean. She'll wax the car. You know, if you got a hair out of place, she'll fix it. Just like that. Show him.
Just like that. Just like that.
Miss Simpson is the best nanny in the whole nannying profession, and she's all yours.
I don't know what to say, Scotty, except thank you.
Yeah, folks, got Jeff Jarrett.
Trouble here.
Right on the
Simpson
floor.
has got a broom.
Yeah. Oh, boy, she broke that broom on Jeff Jarrett. Jennifer Simpson did. Jarrett grabs a hold to the broom. Jabs her with it. He's going out to Jennifer Simpson. Hey, Eddie Marlin goes over and grabs Jennifer.
Miss Simpson, Eddie Marlin has her in tow. What is this, Brian?
Hey!
Hey, come on.
Get this dirty old man away from...
What are either one of you doing here?
That's what Johnny I've been after him for 4 years. He hasn't had a scratch on him since I've been to him.
Get out of here. You don't have no...
Eddie Marlin trying to send Brian Christopher and Miss Simpson out of here.
That ball could polo out on the concrete floor.
Jeff again has both of them.
Look
out. Miss Simpson here with a mop now.
Miss Simpson got that mop on Jeff. Swings out to Jeff. Jarrett gets it from her. Goes over and grabs Miss Simpson now. Here's Eddie Marlin back out, though.
Eddie Marlin has Miss Simpson in tow again. Brian Christopher, hey, get your hands off of him.
Hey, Brian, get your hands off of him. Referee T.D. Steele's calling for the bell. Eddie Marlin's trying to help out Jeff Jarrett while Polo and Buck jump on him. Miss Simpson's got that bucket or whatever it's in there. I don't know.
As she goes in the ring, Brian Christopher hanging on to Eddie Marlin. They've got Jeff double team. They've got him down. She's got something here. We've rung the bell, TD. It's over.
Yeah,
we rung a disqualification when Johnny Polo hit the ring. Falk was disqualified. But meanwhile, what she's spraying in his face looks like some of that tire foam.
Yeah. It's all over the studio today. There goes Miss Simpson again. She's got the other broom. Slams down on Jeff Jarrett with it. Boy, look at her wail away on Jeff. Jarrett. Jarrett, stuff all over his face. And boy, Miss Simpson breaks the broom. Look out now. Here comes Miss Simpson.
Miss Texas will even it up real quick as she goes after Miss Simpson. Look at that. Brian Christopher, look out, grabs Miss Texas. Oh, he hit her with a fist right in the face.
Come on, Brian, would you? Oh, man, that is ridiculous, I tell you. Christopher just nails away on Miss Texas, slams it down hard. Miss Simpson kicking away on Miss Texas. Eddie Marlin's out on the floor. No order in this one, boy. Action all over the studio.
Johnny Polo and Tony Falk have Jeff Gaylord down on the floor. They've just shoved Eddie Marlin down. Brian Christopher continues to jump up and down on Jeff Jarrett in the ring, while Miss Simpson is now choking Miss Texas. Here comes the King. There's Jeff Jarrett, accompanied by Miss Texas, headed this way. By the way, thanks for joining us at our special time today. We'll be back at the same time, 9:30 next week, for USWA Championship Wrestling action. Jeff, I am happy to shake your hand here today. I want to talk about that before we talk about the action coming up. Some of the fans may have heard, some may have not. I want to get an update. You and Eddie Marlin were involved in a very serious traffic accident about a week ago, very early last Sunday morning. The vehicle overturned several times, and thank goodness you had on a seatbelt and you're able to stand here with us today. How are you feeling, and how's Eddie?
Well, Dave, I appreciate your concern, and some of the fans know, and some of the fans don't know. I made an announcement Monday night, and I'm going to be repeating myself, but I'm very happy to be here because, like you said, Dave, Saturday night on the way home, Eddie lost control of the truck, and we swerved across the road, and then we went back across the interstate and hit the guardrail. And the truck flipped, I think, 3 times, and we landed upside down. Luckily, and I want, especially the kids out there, 16, 17 years old, I want them to listen real good, because I know, I can remember when I was 16 or 17, I didn't listen to much. But the commercials you see about buckle up, seatbelt, save your lives, it's not just an advertisement. Most of the time it goes in one ear and right out the other, but it's the truth. And I want not only the kids, but everybody to listen, because seatbelts do save lives, and if I wouldn't have had mine on, I don't think I'd be here standing this morning. I'm very happy to be here, very happy to be alive, and as far as Eddie's condition, he's real sore, but he's not in the hospital. A lot of people have asked me this morning if he's still in the hospital. He's not in the hospital. He's real sore. He doesn't get around too good, but time will heal everything. And as far as myself, Dave, my knee's still real sore and my elbow, and I'm still sore all over, but other than that, I'm just happy to be here. And we got a big tournament this week. Kids in for $1, and a big Memorial Day Schools Out special. So go ahead.
I notice you're not in the tournament. Is that because of the accident, or?
That's because of the accident, because I knew you'd have to wrestle 4 times to get to the finals, and I didn't want to get into the tournament unless I knew I had a good shot at getting in the finals, because I want to take care of first things first. Now, Brian Christopher, last Monday night, you got out of the match with myself. But this Monday, it's going to be a tag match. And you're going to have Miss Simpson there, you little nanny, and the tape just showed just a few minutes ago of the kind of shenanigans you try to pull off. Well, Miss Simpson, I just got a few words for you. You can bring your mop and bring your broom and bring whatever cleaning materials you want to bring. Because Monday night, Jeff Jarrett and Miss Texas, we're going to do some cleaning house. And Brian Christopher, that is a promise. I can't wait to get my hands on you. Tell him, Miss Texas.
Miss Simpson, you think you're so cute, walking around with that little maid uniform on? Now, you call yourself an English nanny. But down here, I'm calling you a bird-leg, big-mouth, nothing-happening tramp. Now, see, you come out here, you hit Jeff over the head with the broom and the mop. But I tell you what, soon as you step in the ring, honey, I'm going to beat you like I own you.
Oh. Well, Dave, it looks like I ain't got to say anything else. It looks like Miss Texas is going to take care of Miss Simpson. And, Brian, that just leaves you for me, and I can't wait. Monday night.
All right, Jeff and Miss Texas. Mixed tag match coming up. Monday night, Mid-South Coliseum. It's the night of the big tournament. 15 matches in the tournament. You add that match at 16 matches in all, even though, as we just pointed out, that is technically not a tournament match. There are 16 wrestlers involved in the tournament, and I have been informed that, that there's going to be a special situation to keep this moving along, because with 16 matches, you don't want to spend a lot of time with people wandering back and forth from dressing rooms. So the promotion's going to have all 16 wrestlers at ringside. There'll be 16 chairs right there at ringside, and they will be there at the beginning of the tournament. If one of the wrestlers gets out of his chair and tries to interfere, he's going to be disqualified. So he will, you know, that'll be a bye then for his opponent, who will just advance to the next round. It's a 4-round tournament. The opening round, let's kind of take a look at the opening round here, beginning with at the bottom. Actually, we'll start with the legend Tony Falk going against Mark Freer. Mark, again, we'll meet a little bit later on. Brand new to the USWA. We hear mighty good things about him. He will be going against legend Tony Falk in the opening match. We'll follow that with Brian Christopher against Moondog Spot. The next one, Steve Dahl will be going against Wolfie D. You follow that with Rex King against Dutch Mantell. Now, that's sort of interesting. Look at the way that bracket is set up. If Rex King should defeat Dutch Mantell, and if Steve Dahl should defeat Wolfie D, that means that the tag team partners, the tag champions, would have to wrestle each other to advance in the tournament. So that's what I meant a little bit earlier about some interesting pairings that can come up in a tournament such as this. On up about the middle there, you see J.C. Ice will be going against Master of Terror in a match. Danny Davis will be going against Johnny Polo. Jeff Gaylord takes on Scott Braddock. And then the King, Jerry Lawler, we've already talked about this a little bit. He is going to be going against Principal C.W. Bergstrom in the opening match. And as we pointed out, the King is mighty upset with Bergstrom and Samples coming out here claiming to have checked his transcript, talking about all that stuff. And well, you can tell from what they were saying about it that their version of it is certainly not the truth. But anyway, I think they've got the King a bit upset at C.W. Bergstrom. They maybe should have left well enough alone until this match was over, but now they couldn't do that, and as a result, the King will be looking for C.W. Bergstrom in that opening match as he tries to advance. Now, point of the tournament, well, you see it right there on the left of the screen. Papa Shango, who defeated the King for the unified belt, and then, as Jerry pointed out, used the disqualification route to retain the belt in the rematch. He has the belt, and the winner of the tournament gets the shot at Papa Shango. Bert Prentice, who is now handling the business affairs in the USWA for Papa Shango, came up with this idea, obviously, as the King believes, just to keep him from getting a shot at the title again. But he's in the tournament if he can win 4 matches, and that's what it takes. You have to win 4 matches, you advance, and whoever wins it will get the shot at Papa Shango for the unified belt. And don't forget that grudge match, which will be in between, by the way, the first round and the semifinal round, or the quarter final round and the semifinal round. Jeff Jarrett and Miss Texas will be in there in a grudge match going against Brian Christopher and Miss Simpson.
Can't wait for that one. And don't forget $1 general admission for kids 12 and under.
Absolutely. Kids 12 and under, $1. Big Memorial Day special coming up. It's a holiday. Enjoy the weekend and the holiday with your family, and then make your plans on being at the Mid-South Coliseum 7:30 for this huge 16-match card, which is going to be coming up there.
Indeed.
And don't forget, one more reminder, thanks again for being here with a special time today, 9:30 again next week due to the French Open for USWA Championship Wrestling. Let's take a break. We'll be back with some more action coming up. All right, I'm joined right now by Mark Freer. Mark, good to have you here. You're new to the USWA, and you have really picked an interesting week to come in. We hear some good things about you.
Thank you. I've heard a lot of good things about the USWA, and I'd just like to say I'm real happy to be here. And when I heard about this tournament, I thought it was an excellent opportunity. I'm glad that I can participate in it.
Well, we're glad to have you participating, and we've got you booked in a match here today. So watch this guy here, Bert Prentice. Prentice, why are you here? I'm trying to talk to Mark. It's our first look at him. We'd like to get some interest.
I'm going to come out and compliment, finally, a fine-looking athlete. Mark Freer, it's so great to finally meet you. I've heard a lot of great things. My name is Bert Prentice. premier manager, I represent the unified world title belt, so-called Queen's belt. It's my belt now. I would love nothing more in the world than to manage you. I'm going to tell you straight here in front of everybody. Before your mind, look at me. Shut up. Before your mind gets poisoned by the likes of Jerry Lawler and Jeff Jarrett and all them idiots, you can trust me. I'm the one man you can trust in the whole world of wrestling. I just wanted to come out, say hello. I know you didn't know who I was. Wanted to introduce myself, give me my card. Call me tonight as soon as the show's over. I got time for you. I can do some great things for you.
Well, listen, you obviously don't know the wrestling business as well as you think you do.
Excuse me?
Because I know Jerry Lawler, and I know Jeff Jarrett, and they're good people. As far as I'm concerned, I also know you.
Oh, you do? Good.
And I also know that I want nothing to do with you or anybody you associate with. As far as I'm concerned, you were nothing but a big, fat jerk.
Well, looks like he does know you, Bert Prentice. I think that's a very wise decision, Mark. I'm glad to hear that. We won't tie you up any longer. I know you got a match here. Let's do that, and good luck to you here in the USWA.
Thank you.
All right, Mark Freer. Oh, boy, Master of Terror coming in. He sure doesn't have an easy task today as he goes in here against the Master of Terror in his debut in the USWA. Well, he said he...
Look at Mark Freer. Heard a lot of good things about him. Young man that wrestles out of Baltimore, Maryland. And Freer leaps over the top rope, and we're about to get this one underway, Dave.
Said he heard about the tournament, thought this would be a great opportunity to come down and go to work in the USWA and see if he can get the shot at Papa Shango.
Master of Terror, the opponent for Mark Freer. First look at Freer in the USWA. Oh, and Master of Terror. I was about to say with a bit of an insult, but a little more than a bit.
Yeah, I hate to see that sort of thing when you got a young guy like Mark Freer coming in here and all of a sudden a guy grabs him like that.
Oh, yeah. Goes to work on Mark. Takes Freer, whips him into the ropes. Oh, big elbow takes him down. And the Master of Terror. What a headbutt on Mark Freer. Oh.
Another headbutt. Mark's had his hair pulled about a half dozen times already, and the match is not 30 seconds old.
Freer got the Master of Terror in the turnbuckle. He'll whoops him in to the other side, and elbow takes him down. Mark Freer in the USWA going after the Master of Terror. Terror comes off. Boy, what a drop kick from Mark Freer. He got up on that one, covers Terror, and Terror's got his leg across that bottom rope.
Had that right leg draped over the bottom rope. That stopped the count right there.
Boot right to the chest of Mark Freer. Covers Freer. 1, 2. Try to hold on to his tights there. Grabs a hold to him, and Freer... Well, look at this. Master Terror is hanging on to the tights of Freer and holding on to the cover. Freer breaks it.
Oh, going on here? Bert Prentice and Steve Dahl out here. They got no business out here in this wrestling area.
Clothesline from Freer. Oh, he misses on the Terror, and Steve Dahl and Bert Prentice, as you mentioned, Dave, are out here. Don't know what for. Have no interest in this bout.
There was definitely a distraction there, too, as Mark Freer saw them out here as he was going after that big drop on the Master of Terror. Might have taken his timing off just enough that caused the miss.
Mark Freer hanging in with Master of Terror. Slams down on the Terror with a couple of big forearms. Whips him into the ropes now, this Freer. Elbow takes him down. And
Watch Steve Dahl in there.
Oh, come on, Bert. That's got to be the bell. Here comes Rex King not far behind. And they all jump on Mark Freer.
King and Doll, both of them jumping in with Master of Terror getting in. It's 3 against 1 here. These guys, Prentice sent them in. You know what it was, as Freer insulted Bert Prentice, deservedly so. It made Prentice upset, so he's called Simply Divine in here to get even. That's what's going on.
Yeah, that's what's happened. And Master of Terror and Simply Divine all jump on Freer. And here comes Jeff Jarrett in the half-out mark. And there goes Simply Divine and Terror and Prentice, all of them.
You lost by disqualification.
Welcome Mark Freer to the USWA.
Yeah, you lost by disqualification, Master of Terror. And Bert Prentice, that's the sort of welcome that maybe will inspire Mark Freer to take care of guys like you and Simply Divine, too. Well, the big tournament is coming up. You'll see Mark Freer in the tournament.
Monday night at the Coliseum, it's the Memorial Day Special. Kids 12 and under, admission is only $1. A 15-match tournament to see who gets a shot at the unified world champion, Papa Shango. 16 men battling for a chance to be the world champion, plus a grudge match. Jeff Jarrett and Miss Texas try to get revenge against Brian Christopher and Miss Simpson. The Memorial Day Spectacular. Kids 12 and under in for $1 Monday night at the Coliseum.
Hey, we're on a special time today due to the French Open, which follows us NBA basketball this afternoon. We'll be on at 9:30 next week, too. So remember, half hour early next week for USWA Championship Wrestling. All right, now I want to, well, I hear the music, so I'm sure he's probably on the way. Brian Christopher should be headed this way. Maybe we can talk to him just a moment. He's got a match coming up here, and maybe he will have a comment or two about this grudge match, which is scheduled in between tournament matches, in which he and Miss Simpson, who incidentally I see is not with him here today.
Yeah.
Miss Simpson is not here, but you two will be going against Jeff Jarrett and Miss Texas in a match.
You know, Dave, when I was sitting back there in the back, sitting in a chair, I was watching Jeff Jarrett and Miss Texas stand out here and try to conduct an interview. And I couldn't help it. I fell down and I started dying laughing, rolling in the floor because Jeff Jarrett's out there crying, "Oh, I had a car wreck. Oh, wear your seatbelt, everybody." and then, this is the caper right here. Then Miss Texas opens her big mouth. Did you hear her? "I'm Miss Texas, huh? And Miss Simpson, when I get in there with you, tramp, I'm gonna beat you like I own you, huh?" Well, Miss Texas, that right there is exactly why I want to ram my fist down your throat every single time you open your mouth, because you are nothing but a big piece of trash. You understand me? You're garbage. They ought to change your name, Miss Texas, to Mrs. Third and Vance, because that's where you can find her every Friday and every Saturday night, right there on the corner of Third and Vance. And I bet you Jeff Jarrett comes by there and picks her up every now and then. And that is exactly why I left Miss Simpson at home today. I didn't bring her down here because I knew that she would not be able to stand back there once she got one look at you, Miss Texas, because she hates you. After what you pulled last week, she's been in an uproar. She had done no house cleaning all week. She's been breaking brooms, breaking mops, throwing things up against the floor. She is mad, you understand me? And right now, I got her down at Central Hardware. She's buying the biggest broom she can find. She's getting one with the handle on it this big, you understand me? And Monday night, she's gonna bring that broom down there. And Jeff Jarrett, you little sissy, you little fairy, Jeff Jarrett, after I beat you down, I'm gonna have her come in there with the big broom. And she's gonna bust you and black and blue your skin all over your body. And then, Miss Texas, that's what I brought this out here for. You see this belt? Well, where Miss Simpson is from, Miss Texas, she does own people like you. You understand me? Oh, it's true, Dave Brown. It's true. And when she gets her hands on you, Miss Texas, Monday night, she's going to have this strap in her hand. And she's going to show you what they do to people like you where she comes from, Miss Texas. I can't wait, baby.
Celebrate now. You may not have the opportunity after that match. I would apologize for most of the stuff I think he's insulted everybody here, including us. Brian Christopher, he's got a match coming up. Maybe he'll get what's coming to him in just a moment. As he heads to the ring, here's a word about the USWA hotline.
Are you ready for it? Well, it's here. The USWA hotline, 1-900-773-5464. That's the number to call to find out everything that's going on in the USWA. I'll be on there. You're going to find out exactly what the King's up to. Not only that, you'll hear from the star of the week in the USWA and a new segment, Jennifer's Gossip. That's right, all the dirt that goes on behind the scenes of the U.S. Wrestling Association. 1-900-773-5464. Call it right now.
Brian Christopher wandering around the ring, insulting the crowd. Now climbs up on the ring apron. Here comes referee T.D. Steele, and here comes the opponent for Brian Christopher today, Mr. USA number 2. I'm told. Single match. I suppose he has a tag team partner when they wrestle as a tag team, Mr. USA number 1.
Yeah.
He's here by himself in a single match today. Tell you what, he's definitely going to go in here as an underdog going against Brian Christopher. Christopher taking his own time about getting the warm-up jacket and the Southern Heavyweight title from around his waist. Yeah, celebrating that Southern Heavyweight title.
He is the USWA Southern champion, and boy, he wants everybody to know it.
Yeah. And won't give Jeff Jarrett a rematch. Boy, I tell you what a champion,
Yeah,
huh?
what a champion, yeah.
There he is, Brian Christopher.
He's laughing at Mr. USA number 2, what he's doing in there. Who is this? So who is Mr. USA number 2?
Oh, boy, I tell you what. Hey, hello.
And number 2, Mr. USA, just picks up Christopher, slams him down hard. That's who he is.
Well, Mr. Christopher, never underestimate your opponent. I think there's a lesson there, don't
Never,
you?
ever. Looking at Mr. USA number 2, he's Christopher. Whips him into the ropes now. Mr. USA comes off, leaps over and catches that big boot from Christopher. Oh, slapping Mr. USA number 2.
Oh, here's Miss Texas.
Hey, crybaby Christopher! Where's that sidekick at now? Christopher, where that 2-bit tramp at?
Hey, watch it.
What you say, little tramp, huh? How you running your mouth about me?
Where your
Come on, Brian. Hey, hey. Hey, watch it, Miss Texas. Oh, boy! Miss Texas lit off on Christopher. Hey, come on, Brian. Boy, that's horrible. Christopher Hart is strapping away on Miss Texas with that leather strap. Come on, Brian. Come on now.
Here comes some help.
Yeah, here comes Chef Jarrett.
And that got rid of Christopher, thank goodness, when Jeff Jarrett finally arrived. And I tell you.
Oh, boy.
We'll be back, fans. Stay with us. Jeff Jarrett arrived and got rid of Brian Christopher. He went running out of here. You know, I didn't even see how the match ended up there. I don't know if did he get a pin or not. We'll have to check on that because we were distracted by what was going on down here on the floor. Let's take a look at the action, which Well, let's not just yet, because the King is headed this way, and let me talk to him just for a moment, and then we'll tell you about this big tournament coming up. King?
I just want to come out here and say quickly that Monday night looks like it's shaping up to be one of the biggest nights that's ever been down at the Mid-South Coliseum. It's going to be a great, there's a lot of great things happening there that night, but also the fact that a lot of kids are already out of school. They don't have to go to school on Tuesday morning, and kids 12 and under getting in for only $1. So we want to see all the young people out there, and I am especially excited because it's going to be my opportunity to get a chance to get the World Unified Belt right back here in Memphis, Tennessee. And I also want to see Brian Christopher get his butt beat like he is going to get it. He comes out here to want to beat on a woman. Well, let me tell you something, Brian Christopher. I just talked to Jeff. I just talked to Miss Texas. And there's going to be a rear end strapped Monday night. Well, there's going to be 2 of them. And they're going to belong to you and that silly-looking nanny of yours, so I can't wait for Monday night. It's going to be a big one, Dave. I
think you're right. We're going to check that entire card coming up right here. Remember, the tournament, 16 matches in all. The tournament itself, 15 matches, 4 rounds. Opening match of the tournament. The legend, by his own words, Tony Falk, will be going against Mark Freer. And I tell you what, I am impressed with what I saw from Mark Freer here today.
Indeed.
The one thing I know, he has done some homework, and he knows about Bert Prentice. He also knows that Lawler and Jarrett are good people to know. Bert Prentice is not someone you want to trust your career to. Mark Freer will be going against the legend Tony Falk in the opening match. Then it'll be Moondog Spot going against Brian Christopher. The winner of those 2 matches then will face each other in the next round. Then you got Wolfie D going against Steve Dahl, and Rex King will go against Dutch Mantell. Same situation. The winners in those brackets go against each other. Master of Terror will go against J.C. Ice. It'll be Danny Davis taking on Johnny Polo. In yet another bracket, you have Jeff Gaylord against Scott Braddock, and the King will be going against Principal C.W. Bergstrom. That is the opening round, and of course the winners of each of those matches will face each other in the quarterfinals. The quarterfinalists then will go to 2 semifinal matches, the winners of which then will meet in the finals, and the winner of the entire tournament will face the man you see right here on the screen. That is Papa Shango. Papa Shango came in from the WWF, was able to take the unified title from Jerry Lawler, and he is the holder of that belt, the rightful holder, even though Bert Prentice claims it's his belt, and he certainly did figure in Papa Shango ending up with the championship. But there's the champion right there, and the winner of this tournament gets the shot at the belt held by Papa Shango. That's not all. Remember that grudge match? Jeff Jarrett and Miss Texas will be going against.
Can't wait for that one, boy.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Going against Brian Christopher and Miss Simpson, that one looks good. Remember, too, the special format for the tournament, so that you don't have spend a lot of time between the matches with so many matches on the card coming up Monday night. In order to keep things moving along, all 16 wrestlers, all the participants in the tournament, will be seated at ringside. And if one of them jumps up and interferes in a match that he has no business in, he's going to be disqualified. And his opponent will advance automatically to the next round. So they'll be there at the beginning, and they'll stay there as the tournament continues. A Memorial Day special. The King talked about it. We've talked about it a couple of times. Kids 12 and under, $1 admission. Bergstrom is not happy about that, but I think everybody else is. So it's a great opportunity to wrap up a Memorial Day holiday weekend and come on out with the entire family and enjoy USWA Championship Wrestling beginning at 7:30 at the Memphis Mid-South Coliseum. Let's take a break, and we'll be back with more right after this. Well, another one of those days on USWA Championship Wrestling. Action in the ring and action all over the place here. And C.W. Bergstrom in here against young Billy Hickerson. Got the pin, refused to leave after that, and tried to beat up on the kid. Then Mark Freer. Nice debut for Mark Freer here today. He got the victory over Master of Terror by disqualification. But
until Prentice came out with Steve Dahl and Rex King. and interfering in there and jumping on the free and all, uncalled for.
Absolutely. And then Brian Christopher, Mr. USA, too, with that final match which erupted into the action on the floor. Opening match here today, Simply Divine.
Great
Rex
opener.
King and Steve Dahl going against PG-13. We had looked forward to this one. PG-13, J.C. Ice was slowed down considerably when they slammed him, his ribs on the top rope over here. But then he was able to come back, and Wolfie D, you see right here, going against Bert Prentice, who had jumped up on the ring apron. And look, Steve Dahl did not miss that opportunity. As Wolfie D was distracted, he dropped him down. The referee saw the shoulders down, came over, made the count of 3. So King and Dahl, Simply Divine, have themselves a victory here today. But as you see, has happened so many times in that sort of situation, it was none other than Bert Prentice getting some interference going on the side there.
Yes. All the time interfering from Bert Prentice.
Special time again next week, 9:30. Hope you'll join us then. Until then, for Corey Macklin, I'm Dave Brown. So long, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of USWA Championship Wrestling.